This race was originally scheduled for Saturday, but we decided to move it to an hour after the Cup race yesterday, but due to certain other things, we moved it to tonight, starting right now. So it is the Coke Zero Sugar 250 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Just 3 races, including this one, to go until the playoffs start. The 24, he's clinched that regular season title. He's got it in all 3 series. He clinched it last week at Daytona with his win in the Xfinity Series. He's running the same paint scheme as he ran last week here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. They just packed things up and headed straight to Atlanta from Daytona. They'll go back home, get a different paint scheme ready for the Glen on Saturday. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so without further ado, let's get the Coke Zero Sugar 250 underway. As we mentioned before, 3 races, including this one, to go until the playoffs. Hunter McKinnon, he can clinch a playoff spot tonight on points. All he has to do is finish the race well. He put himself, with that second place finish at Daytona a week ago, he put himself in a spot to clinch. So he's winless. He's never won in the Xfinity Series before. Definitely still time to get that first win, but he doesn't have to stress about the playoffs as long as he can get a good finish tonight. Now, a good finish being a top 10 or top 5. If he fails to do that, it's okay because he's still really good in points to transfer into the playoffs regardless of what happens. Right now, he sits about 8th in points. That's good because at least he would make it out of the first round. And when the points reset in the playoffs, then it's not going to matter anyway until we get the playoff race, which our first race of our playoffs will be Kansas Speedway. Well, like we said, you got to get through this. The Glen and Bristol, our regular season finale, before anything else. Urbane has won 4 straight races. Green flag, and the Coke Zero Sugar 250 is underway. So a 19-lap stage 1. It's going to be 82 laps, 250 miles. Now we're just going to pretend that this is the reconfigured track. And since there is 2 of us in here that are actually humans, you cannot advance your position below the line anywhere. If you go down there, it's a penalty. Just to let you know. And you can't force anybody down there, obviously. Now, it's different if you go down there if the AI are starting to be weird. You know, like if they start brake checking you and stuff, and you just go down there to avoid them, then that's different, you know. But Brandon Brown takes over second. Brandon Brown winner at Richmond this season. He's already in the playoffs. The current leader of the race already in the playoffs as well. Hunter McKinnon is going in the wrong direction while his boss has stayed in the right position. Running that very nice Napa Auto Parts paint scheme. He ran this last week at Daytona, and he decided to run it back-to-back weeks. Almost playoff time for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. The NASCAR Cup Series had their first race of the playoffs yesterday afternoon here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Urbane, who currently leads this race, captured the win and locked up a spot in the round of 12. And fun fact, for Hunter McKinnon, he celebrated his 25th birthday yesterday and did it in style, going to the round of 12 as a car chief for Urbane. So that's cool. Cool moment, cool way to celebrate your birthday. He would love to get a late birthday gift with his first Xfinity Series win today, but we'll have to see how it goes. Now, race analysis, it's 82 laps, 250 miles, as we mentioned that already. 19 laps in Stage 1, most likely 16 in Stage 2. We'll have to see. And then however many to the final checkered flag. Track temp, about 60 degrees, so it's 5 degrees cooler tonight than it was last night for the Cup race. And the temperature outside is about 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, pay attention to the banking in the turn, since we're pretending this is the reconfigured track and not the old track. That's 28-degree banking in the turns right there. And there is out of bounds at this track. Like we mentioned before, you go below that line at all, it is a penalty around the track. And if you force somebody below the line, it's a penalty. Urban looking to make it 5 wins in a row. His wins dating back to Indy. He's on a 4-race win streak. Looking to make it 5 in a row. And right now, it was looking good for him before that caution came out. We're going to get a restart with 75 laps total in the race to go. But how about that? That was a nice green flag run before the first caution. Here we go for the restart. Brandon Brown and Urban to lead this field back to green. McKinnon back in 9th. The 24 of Urban had a good start on the start of the race, and with 9 to go in Stage 1, gets a good restart that time. Ryan Blaney's driving the 22 this week. His first start in a long time in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. He's running 2nd right now. Now, because the stages are going to be short, except for the final stage, we're not going to do any side-by-sides yet. We're going to wait till the end of each stage. And instead, we will use a Toyota All-Out on the restart for the first 5 laps of each stage. Except for the third, we'll have side-by-sides in the third and final stage. Coming to 5 to go in Stage 1. Urban's got a comfortable advantage again. Just has to make it around one more time for the stage to be official if the caution comes out for the second time before the end of the stage. Look at this, though. The race has been running good so far. We've only had 1 caution. And that came out with 12 laps to go in the stage. And then we restarted with 9 to go, and it's been clean. There hasn't been too many races like this season. Four to go here in stage number 1. Coming to 3 to go this time by. And this is a 1.5 mile super speedway. So this is it's a super speedway similar to Talladega and Daytona, but it definitely has its differences. Daytona has 31-degree banking, while Talladega has 33. This one only has 28. And Daytona is a 2.5-mile super speedway, while Talladega is a 2.66-mile super speedway. This is only a 1.5-mile super speedway, so this is about 1 mile shorter than Daytona and a bunch of miles shorter than Talladega. Hunter McKinnon got back up to second place. And unless it's not going to matter. So he's going to finish second in stage 2 unless if something happens back there with him in the pack, while his boss is continuing to drive away with 1 to go in the stage. Hunter McKinnon, definitely the candidate for Rookie of the Year, as he's the only rookie in the Xfinity Series to guarantee, at least for right now, guarantee a spot, as his boss will win stage 1 here at Atlanta, but he's the only rookie so far to somewhat guarantee himself a spot in the playoffs, so he's definitely a favorite for Rookie of the Year. And because the other rookie hasn't competed except for the season opening truck race, he's also the candidate for Rookie of the Year in the Truck Series. I think we should pit here, bud. We always pit at the end of stages. All right, so like we said, it's going to be Toyota all out. So you guys will get to see the first 5 laps under Toyota all out with no commentary. Got loose there. Ooh. My bad. My car fishtailed. And I hit the wall that time. Well, that was Toyota all out. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the whole thing under the green flag because the 24 and 7 made contact and the 7 went around. As you've seen, the 24 and 88, the teammates get together. Ryan Blaney has the lead for the moment, but look at this 24 car. He's climbing back into the top 5. He is in the top 5. He's got to run to go all the way to second. Ryan Blaney's looking in his rearview mirror. The 88 has spun in the grass. No caution is out. We stay green. Look at this. Pay attention to this. 24 going for the lead. Not going to get it there off of turns 1 and 2. Crossover, though. He's going to get it down the back straightaway. Bro, really? Well, at least he's pitting. Well, never mind, guys. I guess the 24 did end up with the lead, but he did not pass for it before the caution came out. It was because of the 22 pit. 7 laps to go in the stage. Here we go. So with 7 laps to go, that's how many laps there are until the next Toyota All Out. Hopefully we stay green this time. Get ready to pit at the end of the stage. That's the team strategy. We always pit at the end of the stages. And 24 might sweep the stages here in Atlanta. Now, he's looking for his third consecutive... No, it would be his 4th consecutive weekend sweep tonight. If he got it, caution came out. If he gets it, Michigan, Darlington, and Daytona, he swept the weekend, winning the Truck, Xfinity, and Cup race at Michigan. Then he won the Xfinity race and Cup race at Darlington and Daytona. He won the Cup race here last night, looking for the weekend sweep for the 4th time in a row. And he came up just short of number 5 when Clay Greenfield won at Indianapolis after Carson Baker was DQ'd. Carson Baker originally won that race. Him driving his number 11, Irvine driving his number 11 truck, spun out. And if he didn't spin out and finish second there, that'd be 5 weekends in a row already that he would have swept the weekend. Instead, he spins out, finishes 8th as a result of Carson Baker's penalty. Still a top 10, still a good day. Can't really complain about that. The stage is official this time. Regardless of what happens, it's going to be 2 stages in a row where Hunter McKinnon finishes in the runner-up position. 9 points in each stage. That's still a good points day for the stage-wise. And the thing about that is when you get on the restart, you got to be careful, because if you jump in front of the car, if you pass a car before the start-finish line, that's a penalty. So you got to be careful on the track with that. And obviously if you go out of line. Now the 24 on that last restart, he only went out of line because obviously the car fishtailed and got loose, so he had to save it. There is some circumstances where you are allowed to go out of line on a restart, and it's to save your car or to avoid a wreck on the restart. And he sweeps the stages here at Atlanta, and is just 1 more stage away from getting his 5th win in a row. He'll be chasing number 6. Or no, it's 4th win in a row, excuse me. He'll be chasing number 5 next week at Watkins Glen. And if he gets that at Glen, then he'll be chasing 6 at Bristol. These next few tracks on the schedule are all tracks he's good at. He's good at these super speedways. He's a road course ringer. He's really good at Bristol. There's a reason why they call him the king of the Coliseum. $40 laps to go, and 50 laps of fuel each car has, so we should be good for the end here. Now, I would expect the Team Irvine cars to go for tires if there's a late race restart. just because as your tires wear, your car actually goes slower. But we'll see. And there's a caution on track. And that will allow the 24 to inherit the lead. It should. Yes, 24 and 88 on the front row where they started the race and where they have finished in each of the stages. You finished second, I thought. Oh, well, my apologies. Hunter finished second in stage 1, fifth in stage 2. Still really good points day. Obviously, there's going to be a little frustration with the fact that he got pushed under the line there. And what's got to be really more frustrating is he's doing everything right to get to second, but his boss is just really good on these restarts. He can't do anything on the restarts. The only way he would have a chance so far on the restart is if he jumps the restart, which he knows he can't do because then he's going to get a penalty. So at this point in time, you got to hope your boss misses a shift, car stalls, or something like that on a restart. Or you just got to find speed and go run him down. But also at the same time, you got to realize that you don't have to win this race to clinch a playoff spot. I mean, a win guarantees you a spot in the playoff, sure. But you don't have to win it. You just have to finish in the top 10 or obviously top 5, and he has a postseason berth. Yeah, they're definitely not. I mean, the 24 radio, though, obviously having a good day. And, whoa, the 24 shoves the 13 there to avoid for the 13 can avoid a penalty. You better be grateful the 24 just did that, because he doesn't do that too much. Coming to 31 to go. As the 18 of William Sawalich is up to second. Or no, that's not the 18, excuse me. That's the 61 of Sage Karam. And with 30 laps to go, we will take you side by side. You won't miss a thing. Welcome back to the Coke Zero Sugar 250 from Atlanta, and we just had a caution a little bit ago. We got another caution. It is caution flag number 5. The Cup Series race here, fun fact, had 7 caution flags last night, 2 to end the stages and 5 for incidents. Urban ended up getting the win in double overtime. Well, if he keeps playing his deck of cards the right way here, he'll have no problem getting the checkered flag here. Actually, the last restart was perfect by the 24. He didn't have to go up and get into the 61 to keep him from jumping the start. And he's not going to have to do it here either. 17 to go. Hunter McKinnon making his way back into second. We'll see if he finally has what it takes to catch his boss. If I'm Hunter, though, I'm not going to push it too hard if I can't catch my boss. Because the thing is he's in a spot to clinch a playoff berth right there. Why would you risk not getting the finish you need to clinch your spot, going for it this week? I say you get your spot clinched, and then next week at the Glen you go for your first win. Yeah, I agree. I think you take it easy here. Get the finish you need, and then go for the win next week. Now, if it's a late race restart and you're side by side with them and you get a good restart to go for the win, absolutely. Don't pass up on an opportunity like that. But I'm talking like right now, I wouldn't be pushing that car too hard to catch the boss. I would be focusing on keeping at least 11th place behind me if I fall back to 10th. If you can do that, you can go to the playoffs tonight. Let's listen to the 88 radio to hear their strategy for this race. And there you have it. And that's the thing about him being second right now to his boss and not being able to catch his boss. He's learning how to race at these super speedways and hopefully become good at them like his boss. That's how you learn things. You have almost a Sheldon Creed season where you finish second every race before you get that first win, because it's just how you learn how to do things. There's so many opportunities down the road for him to get that first win. Like we mentioned, if I'm him, I'm not going to push it. There's 11 laps to go next time by. I'm going to relax. And I'm going to just be like, all right, guys, you know what? Unless if there's a caution, I don't think we have the car to beat the 24. Let's get a second place finish, or at least a top 5, top 10 to get this playoff spot so we can race in the playoffs to begin with. Because it's also possible for him to lose a ton of points and not necessarily fall out of the playoffs, but fall down in the playoffs and have a higher risk at being eliminated after the first round. So it looks like stage cameraman Ryan Blaney made some contact and got into the wall. That brought out the caution. There's now 8 laps to go. That was the 6th caution flag, so we are 1 away from tying the Cup Series for cautions in the race. Question is, will we go to double overtime like the Cup Series did? That would make it more cautions. Watch the wall there, buddy. You were awful close to it. Five to go, signal next time by. And the field, it's not just the 88. They're running out of chances to get up here and go for this win. 5 laps to go. That was the 5 to go signal. If we restart now, it will be pretty much like an overtime start, even though it will still be regulation. If we make it back to the line, then it will be NASCAR overtime. And if you're the leader right now, you're just hoping you can make these last few laps under the green. So that way you don't have to worry about that. But also, he clearly has a good car, so even if he... Oh, we're going to go to overtime. So overtime, it's a 2-lap shootout, green-white checkered flag finish. If the leader takes the white flag under green, the next flag ends the race. Caution prior, we re-rack them and restart them, and it's unlimited attempts until a winner is declared. The 24 just needs a restart like he's had all race, and it's his. So that ties the Cup Series for the most cautions, and we are in overtime like the Cup Series. 2 laps to go. The Cup Series, though, went to double overtime, so it'll be interesting. No caution. Let's make it to this white flag, because I don't want 20 million cautions. Will he make it? You see the caution light at the bottom of your screen. White flag, 1 lap to go, presented by Urbane Woodworking. The 24 caught the grass there a little bit. So the race is official. Whether it's the caution or the checkers that ends it. Down the backstretch for the final time. He won the Cup race last night. It's going to be his 4th win in a row and his 5th weekend sweep, or 4th weekend sweep, one of those two. Can you believe it? Urbane's gonna win at Atlanta. And guess what? Hunter McKinnon has clinched a playoff spot in the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs. Let's listen to the 88's radio for that one. And let's listen to the 24's radio. Yes, boys. Let's go. Hey, tell Hunter I'm happy he's in the playoffs. All right, let me do my burnout, and then we'll do post-race interviews. Race now. Xfinity. Three laps at Atlanta. Of course, I have to do qualifying to make sure I win the pole, so that way I don't have to drive through the entire field. Though I'm pretty sure I could. If I could do it in that race, I definitely could have. I definitely could do it in the race now, but I don't want to. I want to get the top spot so I can kind of just drive off. Whoa, I just spun out. Good thing I wasn't qualifying yet. This is just the setup lap. Alright, cool, I got it. So, just a reminder, next Saturday, it is to the Glen for the Shriners Children's 200 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Some road course racing. Comes your way 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on FoxTube TV. As there is now just 2 races to go until the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs. Hunter McKinnon just officially joined the drivers in, so he does not have to worry about falling too low in the standings now. All he has to do is preferably probably win one of the next 2 races or put himself in a good spot going into the playoffs so he doesn't have to worry about potentially being knocked out of the playoffs after 1 round or 2. Because obviously everyone wants to make the championship 4. Time for the Polish victory lap. On the burnout and then interviews. And then it's off to the Glen. And you see him burn it down through the grass to start. And that leads to the track. Back-to-back weeks, he's won in that white Napa scheme. 4 weeks in a row, he's swept the weekend. And he's going to park his car right there. Alright, it's time for some post-race interviews. So first up, the winner. I feel great, man. It's pretty nice to have a car that good to where, you can actually do something on the restarts and starts of the race instead of sit there and have to fight, fight your car all day. It's really nice. Actually, we did that this entire weekend. Regan, we swept stages and won the race. And like I've said before, Atlanta Motor Speedway, it's like a second home track to me. It's really awesome to come out here and get a win, especially in front of all these fans. And shout out to all you that came out, on a Monday night to watch this. It means a lot. Shout out to all my friends, everything like that. You guys rock. This one's for everybody. Um, yeah, I'm like I said, I'm really stoked to get this win, and I'm happy. I'm proud. I'm proud of my teammate for clinching a playoff spot, and we'll see if we can finally get him that first win. Yeah, he did pretty good, honestly. It's one of those things where like, who has the better car on the restart, Um it's not anything he did wrong, it's just unfortunately sometimes your car is just not that good on the restarts. We've had that happen to us before, in all three series, and you learn, and it's like, I told him this whole week, I'm like, it's just take it easy, man. You don't have to win this race. You just have to get a top 10, top 5 to clinch that playoff spot. I would rather you have that playoff spot than win the race, because then you obviously, you're automatically in. I mean, you're in with a win too, but I'd rather you just clinch the spot and try to win later than take a risk and lose 20 spots and not clinch. Oh, it was just a racing incident. We were just racing hard there. Unfortunate, for the 7, and it's just it's just unfortunate for him, but he was able to rebound, so it was, like I said, just a racing incident. Yeah, thanks, Regan. All right. Well, Hunter McKinnon, you finished second again, but there is some good news with that second place finish. You obviously clinch a playoff spot. You're gonna get a chance to race for the title as a rookie. What are your thoughts after the race? Alrighty. Thank you, Hunter. Hopefully you get it done there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that does it for Adam Salamander, or for our entire crew. I'm Adam Salamander saying so long from Atlanta Motor Speedway. We will see you at the Glen.